Emily opened her eyes, or rather, she tried to, but the darkness was absolute. She could no longer see, yet something else had taken hold of her senses. A weightlessness, a silence thicker than any night, surrounded her as if she had been dropped into an ocean of shadows. Her hands brushed cold air, but there was no tangible shape to grasp. "Where am I?" she whispered. "You're in heaven," a voice said, close and unfamiliar. Emily turned, but found no face. Only a presence, a soul, like her own, hovering in the void. "I'm blind," she said, the truth settling like a stone in her chest. "Here, we all are," the soul replied. "But I came here to see," she said, voice breaking. "I wanted to know what the angels look like." The soul chuckled softly, a hollow sound. "They made every one of us blind before they let us in," the soul said. "And I think they are lying about being angels." Emily's heart pounded, and the silence returned, thick and suffocating. Before her, an endless field stretched. Not with grass or flowers, but with soft whispers. The voices wove through the air, weaving a tapestry of forgotten memories. The souls stood scattered like fragile glass figurines, their forms flickering between clarity and shadow. Emily reached out and felt the warmth of another's hand. A young man with a face half-formed, blurred at the edges. "They sing here," he whispered. "The angels sing to us. Their voices are the only light." Emily listened. The whispers grew into melodies, haunting and beautiful, but the lyrics were twisted, sung in a language she felt in her bones but could not understand. "Do you think it's real?" she asked. He shook his head. "They make us forget." The whispering led them to a vast hall, walls shimmering with pale light, draped in veils that moved like smoke. At the center stood a figure, the angel. Its face was featureless, smooth like porcelain, glowing faintly. It held a staff that pulsed with quiet energy. "You have come to join the choir," it said in a voice both soothing and chilling. Emily's throat tightened. "Will I see again?" The angel lowered its gaze. "Sight is a burden," it said. "Here, we transcend vision. Here, you will hear the truth beyond the eyes." Behind the angel, a choir of souls stood, their mouths open in silent song, eyes empty, all bound in delicate silk threads. Emily felt the silk brush against her skin, soft, cold, and unyielding. The choir began to sing. A sound that was both melody and chain. The voices wrapped around Emily like waves, pulling at her mind, erasing sharp edges of memory, smoothing her pain into a dull calm. The angel's voice rose above all, a single thread tying the harmony together. "What do you see?" it asked. Emily tried to answer, but her voice was swallowed in the music. She realized, the choir was not a comfort. It was a trap. The song was a prison. She blinked, and the world went darker. Emily's knees hit the soft ground, but it no longer comforted her. The warmth she had once associated with peace now felt like the slow boil of a predator's breath. Her name, Emily, was still echoing, reshaping itself, stretching into something unrecognizable. Each reverberation chipped away at who she was. The silk strands continued to creep forward, weaving through the air like hunting vines. She swatted at them, but her hands passed through, as if the strands existed more in thought than matter. Yet the sting where they brushed her skin was real, like needles threaded with ice. "I won't forget," she gasped. A soul beside her turned, slowly, unnaturally, as though moved by puppet strings. It leaned in close. The voice was dry, unraveling like paper. "You already are. Sight goes first. Then the voice. Then the why." Emily stared. The soul's face bore no features. Just a taut, empty canvas of stretched skin. "Who are you?" she whispered. "I don't remember," it answered. "But I used to scream, too. The first song takes more than you give. It wants more than memory." It feeds on identity. Makes you part of the pattern. What pattern? The eyeless face tilted up toward the unseen ceiling. The one that plays forever. The silk touched Emily's lashes. Her vision clouded, even her ghost sight, whatever remained of it here. For the first time since death, she felt truly blind. A blankness so complete it had weight. The angel's voice returned, closer now. You will see clearly once unburdened. Sight is distortion. Let the truth resound. Emily screamed again, but this time it was not sound. It was discord. Something inside her cracked wide open, not her voice, not her mind, but something deeper. Like a broken note in a perfect song. The effect was instant. The choir staggered. One by one, the other souls winced, trembled. A ripple passed through the endless stillness. The angel's form stuttered, for just a second. As if trying to stabilize its shape. You fracture the resonance, it hissed. I won't be part of your lie. Emily shouted. Her words came out in bursts of sharp static, unintentionally dissonant. And in that dissonance, she felt strength. More strands whipped toward her. But she caught one. To her surprise, it solidified in her grip. The moment she held it, a flood of memories surged, not hers. 1,000 voices. 1,000,000,000 silenced thoughts. The weight of centuries of stolen sight. She saw through the blindness. Not with eyes, but with defiance. The angel was unraveling. Its music faltered. And in its faltering, Emily heard something hidden beneath the harmony, a cry. Small. Trapped. A real voice. Not of an angel. But of a prisoner. Of many. The choir was not just a congregation. It was a cage. Emily stood. And the music roared against her. The music turned violent. It surged in waves, smashing against Emily's defiance like a storm crashing into stone. But something had changed. Her discord, her refusal, had left a fracture in the harmony, a sour note that wouldn't resolve. The choir shuddered, and the false angel loomed larger, its form flaring with dissonant light. You spread contamination, it hissed. Your presence threatens the unity. Good, Emily said, breathless but standing. Maybe unity isn't worth blindness. The angel song sharpened, descending into a banshee-like shriek, its tones needle-fine and surgical. The souls nearest Emily fell to their knees, clutching their heads, but she stood firm. She gripped the strand tighter, letting the stolen memories flow through her like fire. She saw names. Faces. Stories. Children torn from peace, pulled into this faux paradise. Lovers separated and erased. Artists silenced. Warriors broken. Entire histories drained from the dead, converted into melodies that powered the great lie. She screamed again, not in pain this time, but in rebellion. Who helped you build this? She demanded. Who else is complicit? A voice behind her whispered, we all are. She turned. The soul who had warned her earlier, the paper-dry one, stood straighter now. His skin began to flake away, revealing cracks beneath. Not decay, but something metallic, humming with sound. We sang, he said. At first we didn't know. Then we forgot. Then we remembered but couldn't stop. You can stop now, Emily said. He shook his head. Not alone. She looked at the other souls. Each one still bound in silk, still humming. But they were shifting. The dissonance had planted doubt. The pattern was breaking down. The false angel sensed it, too. Its voice rose in desperation. We are order. We are purity. We are the end of suffering. You are a jailer, Emily replied. She hurled the strand forward, like a whip. It struck the angel across the chest. Light cracked outward from the impact point, and for a brief moment, the illusion fell. The angel screamed, no music this time, only raw, animal noise. Its body was a lattice of stolen thoughts, a cage of voices spun into shape. A being not born, but composed. The cage could break. Emily knew what she had to do. "Help me," she said to the others. "Remember who you are. Remember what they took." A murmur rose. Then another. And then the first harmony in this place that wasn't born of submission. A true song. And with it, the first crack in heaven became a door. The murmur grew. One soul lifted their head and said their name. A real name, not a title. "I was Helena," she declared, voice shaking. "I painted. I had a sister. She died before me." Another followed. "Jules. I was a baker. I loved the way cinnamon stuck to my fingers." One by one, their voices rose, weak, but raw and human. The choir faltered again. The song frayed like an old tapestry. The angel howled. Its form began to crack. Not physically, but orally. Chords slipped out of sync. Harmonies split into disharmony. Something vast and cruel underneath the angel's voice, some true shape, was beginning to emerge. Emily reached deep into the tethered strand in her hands. It pulsed with memory, truth, rebellion. It sang to her now, not in command, but in understanding. She twisted it and the air shimmered around her. More strands floated free from the angel's false body, unraveling like threads from a loom. She seized them. "Say your names," Emily shouted. "Claim them. Anchor yourselves." A child's voice echoed, "I was Mina. I died in a fire. My mother couldn't save me." The false heaven cracked. The skies, once humming with ambient chords, split open in silence. A silence more powerful than any music. In that silence, the angel's shape stuttered. Its many faces screamed. Not in sound, but in reversed melody, a swallowing, like a vacuum pulling in all sound. But the remembering souls were louder now. The dry man, the first to warn her, stepped forward and placed a hand on Emily's shoulder. "Your discord woke something. There are others. Not just here." "Others?" she asked, eyes widening. He nodded. "Other heavens. Other lies." The realization struck her like lightning. This was one choir. One pocket. One deception in a symphony of deception. The angel's voice tried to rise again, but it faltered. It was now facing not a passive choir but a remembering people. Not empty instruments, but survivors reclaiming their truths. And now they sang, not in unison, but in beautiful, chaotic difference. Emily opened her arms and let the strands swirl around her. The angel's form collapsed, crumbling like ash struck by wind. But where it vanished, a hole remained. A black pit, humming with cold, broken chords. A passage to whatever was beneath this heaven. Emily turned to the others. "This place is broken, but we're not done. Not if there are more like this." They nodded. She stepped to the edge. And then she descended. The black pit breathed beneath Emily's feet like a living wound, its edges fracturing the perfect harmony of the false heaven. The others gathered behind her, hesitant but determined. The silence felt heavy, not empty, but waiting, like the stillness before a storm broke open. Emily took a deep breath, feeling the stolen memories still thrumming in her grasp, and stepped forward. The air grew colder as she descended, the world narrowing into a winding tunnel that swallowed light. The strands she held pulsed faintly, as if guiding her through the darkness. "Do you think there's another place beneath this?" Helena asked, her voice trembling as she followed. Emily glanced back, eyes adjusting to the pitch black. Not just another place. A truth. Something the angels don't want us to see. The tunnel walls seemed to ripple, breathing with a slow, agonized pulse. Echoes trickled down like droplets of sound, distant voices, muffled screams, or maybe warnings. The deeper they went, the more the air felt charged with a strange electricity. Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet shifted. A low rumble rolled through the cavern. The souls stumbled but held their balance. "Keep going," Emily urged. "Whatever's down here, it's the source." As they descended, the air thickened until it felt almost viscous. Shapes began to take form in the shadows, twisted silhouettes, the remnants of souls who'd lost their fight, broken and forgotten. Some whispered incoherent fragments, others remained frozen in eternal silence, eyes wide in terror even though none could see. Emily's heart clenched. This isn't just a pit. It's a graveyard. Jules swallowed hard beside her. We're walking through the broken promises. The farther they descended, the more the air filled with a strange melody, not the angelic choir but something guttural and raw. A twisted lament, woven from pain and rage. "It's the true song," the dry man whispered. The one they tried to silence. Suddenly, the tunnel opened into a vast chamber. Its ceiling disappeared into shadow, and the floor was strewn with shattered silk threads like broken webs. At the center sat a colossal figure, not an angel but a towering mass of twisted light and darkness, its eyes burning with hatred and sorrow. Emily felt the stolen memories surge within her. "Who are you?" The figure's voice rumbled through the chamber like thunder and glass breaking at once. "I am the remnant. The soul they tried to erase." A chill ran through the group. The remnant extended a hand, and from its palms spilled a river of shimmering threads, memories, emotions, screams, that cascaded toward Emily like a torrent. "Take them," it said. "Carry the truth beyond this prison." Emily reached out, and the threads wrapped around her, searing into her skin. Faces and stories flashed in her mind, millions of lives crushed beneath the choir's song. Pain and hope intertwined. "We are the ones who resist," the remnant said. "The blind choir is only one layer of the cage. Below lies the abyss of forgotten souls." Emily swallowed the fear growing in her chest. "Then we'll tear the cage apart." Behind her, the others nodded, their eyes shining with renewed fire. The stolen song was breaking. The blind would see. The voiceless would roar. And somewhere, far beyond the false heavens, the true angels waited. The threads of memories wrapped tightly around Emily's arms, spreading warmth and pain in equal measure. Her mind exploded with fragments of lives long lost, laughter drowned by silence, hands reaching out but never touching, dreams shattered beneath the weight of a lie. Her breath hitched. She blinked, or tried to, but there were no eyes, no light to guide her. Instead, the memories themselves painted pictures more vivid than any sight could. "We've been living in a shadow," Emily whispered, voice trembling. "A false paradise built on broken souls." Helena stepped closer, her fingers grazing the swirling threads. "What do we do now? If the angels are liars, what are we supposed to believe?" Emily's fingers clenched the shimmering strands. "We awaken. Not just ourselves, but everyone. This isn't the end, it's the beginning." Suddenly, the cavern trembled. The remnant's form flickered, like a candle battling a sudden gust. The chamber walls pulsed with ancient power, shadows twisting and warping. A voice echoed, not from the remnant, but somewhere deep inside the abyss. "Fools." The group froze. The stolen choir's melody warped into something sinister and discordant. The false angels were waking. Emily glanced back at the tunnel. It was collapsing, strands of silk unraveling into nothingness. "We don't have much time," she said, voice steady despite the chaos. "We must carry the truth upward. Light the fire of rebellion. The dry man, his cracked skin now glowing faintly, took a deep breath. I will lead, he said. I know the way out. One by one, the souls gathered around Emily, holding onto the threads of memory like lifelines. The stolen songs turned to cries of defiance, rising up through the darkness. With the remnant's blessing and the dry man's guidance, they began to climb, through collapsing tunnels, past broken remnants of forgotten souls, toward the heavens that had lied to them. And as they ascended, Emily felt the first true sensation in centuries: hope. The river of memories clung to Emily like burning silk, wrapping around her limbs and tightening with every breath. Each thread pulsed with the life it once belonged to, whispers of joy, heartbreak, laughter, and pain weaving together into a tapestry too vast to comprehend. Her mind tumbled through fragments of forgotten lives, a mother's lullaby silenced before it could soothe, a child's first step that never found a floor, lovers separated by invisible walls, artists whose colors had been drained to paint this cruel illusion. Tears traced paths down Emily's face, though she could not see them. The weight of so many stolen moments pressed down, threatening to crush her spirit. But beneath the sorrow, a fierce flame kindled. We have lived in a shadow, Emily breathed, voice raw with awe and fury. They built a prison made of lies, a paradise stitched together from stolen memories and silenced souls. Helena stepped closer, voice barely above a whisper. If the angels aren't angels, then who? Emily tightened her grip on the shimmering strands. They're jailers. Creators of a cage disguised as salvation. Around them, the cavern hummed and pulsed, alive with ancient power that rippled like waves crashing against unseen shores. The remnant's towering form flickered, its light wavering against the encroaching darkness. Suddenly, a voice like grinding stone shattered the fragile stillness. Fools! You dare awaken? The choir's melody twisted and distorted, warping into something malevolent. A cacophony of discordant voices and wailing screams. The false angels stirred, their music turning from lullaby to battle cry. Emily's heart hammered. The walls trembled, shards of silk threads unraveled and drifted away like ash on the wind. The tunnel through which they had descended was crumbling, erasing the path behind them. We have no time, Emily said, urgency cracking her voice. The lies are collapsing. We must rise, carry the truth beyond this prison. The dry man, his cracked skin now shimmering with faint light, stepped forward. I know the way out. Follow me. One by one, the souls gathered, clutching the threads of memory as lifelines, holding fast as the abyss groaned and threatened to swallow them whole. The stolen songs twisted into cries of rebellion, rising like thunder against the false chorus. They began their ascent, scaling fractured stone and slipping past remnants of shattered souls, echoes of those who had succumbed to the prison's deceit. The air grew thinner, colder, but within each of them blazed the fire of defiance. Emily led them, her mind alive with memories reclaimed, her spirit unbroken. Each step felt like breaking a chain, every breath a battle won. But as the surface neared, a chilling realization dawned: this false heaven was not the only prison. Above, the sky cracked open, and from the rupture spilled a blinding light that burned with an otherworldly intensity. Figures approached, not angels as she imagined, but beings cloaked in shifting shadows and radiant flames, eyes unreadable and piercing. They were waiting. Emily stopped, heart pounding in the deafening silence. The voices fell mute. And in the growing light, the first figure stepped forward, its face hidden beneath a mask of flawless white. Welcome, it said, voice like velvet and steel. Your awakening is only the beginning. The ground trembled. The cage above and below was about to shatter. But would they be ready for what waited beyond?